Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. I'm going to take you on. We had worked on the beak before, and the last thing we did, we tried to get the cheeks out. Now, I had did this side here, and we just got the cheek out, and we drew the eye, we drilled the eye, and the other side, I sort of left you in the lurch. I wanted you to do it on your own, but I probably picked the worst side. It usually has more material on this inside turn that turns towards you, or as the bird would face towards you when you're looking at it. This is fat in here, okay? And there's more material. So one thing I want to try to explain is that these, let me move the camera down, and I'll try to show you exactly what's going on that I'm trying to get you to accomplish. And it gets a little tricky on that side, and I should have had it done on the video as well, but I'm going to go over it and see if we can't iron it out for you, okay? So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to move the camera down. Okay, we're back again. What I was trying to say to you is, we took this in, and our guide was, when we marked the top of this head, this is the inside, or the thinner part of the head, and this is the outside, which is really the cheek area. So when you're looking down on this bird, that cheek from the center out should hit that line, okay? And the thing is, on this side, it's the exact same thing. We have to get this cheek lined up at least with that edge there, if you could look straight in on it, okay? And there was a lot more material on this side. It's just the nature of the way the blank was cut. And then you always want to blend the material away. And as I look at this, I'm going to go back and just take a little bit more off just to show you the blending that has to go here, so that once you undercut along this line, you may have to do it 2 or 3 times to get it back, so that when you start chamfering this, remember when we chamfered all around this pencil line and it disappeared, and you end up with a ridge here, and then you round this over and get rid of that ridge, and then from the back of the eye forward, everything slopes down to the beak, okay, but not on the beak, okay? So this here had to come out. So I'm going to take a little more off, and I took a lot off as I was going here, but I'm coming in. This is the pear ruby that I like, because it's a lot more controllable, and I want to blend it back into the body and not make a swale in there or anything else. I'm just trying to get everything to seem like everything's flowing back off of here, and if need be, you got to blend it back, okay? And I don't know how well it's seen on the video here, but I'm going, and even up in here, when I came around here, and I'm going to do this one more time in front of you here. Here's that marking for the cheek, and I came in on a 45-degree angle like this, a chamfer, and I'm going down to that pencil line, and when it disappears, that means you've reached it, but you got to maintain that 45-degree angle, okay, that I'm coming in at it. And then I'm coming over here, and I'm doing the same thing. As you get up to the beak, it gets shallower. And then what you end up creating is a line. And some of it's a little rough in here too, because you didn't smooth it all out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here gently and soften that over with the ruby ball pear. And then from the back of the eye, which is this area right here, going up to the beak, I'm going to have it look like it's tapering down without making a nice transition from the back side to the up to the beak, okay, without going on to the beak, okay? So, and there is a lot of material for me to take back, and I did it like 2 or 3 times just to stay in control. I try not to do it in one fell swoop because you gouge like hell, and then you're out of control. You want to do this in a controlled fashion. You may want to repeat the same steps a couple of times so that when you look down this center line, and the center line's this guy right here, right where the beak goes down, and it comes down here, and it comes this way. All this, when you look in here, it should look symmetrical from one side to the other. And I'll put this pencil line in just to help maybe see it. And it comes up to the bottom of the beak here, okay? So that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get this side look like this side, okay? And the other thing you want to do is check yourself from the center of the eye down. It was 3/8. Sometimes this tends to grow deeper or drops further down. You want to adjust that so that when you're looking down straight on this bird, that if you laid a pencil across there and you came up, that this looks like maybe it's further down than it is on this side. I'm going to check this just to see what I have. From the center of the eye down to what would be the bottom of the cheek was supposed to be 3/8. So I'm pretty close enough that I'm okay there. On this side, here's your center of the eye, okay, which is right here. And if I measure down back here, 3/8, I should bring this up a little bit more, okay? Up to here. And then it will look like it's balanced on both sides. So to do that, I come in with the pear again, and I just undercut just slightly to bring that cheek up, okay? But I want to blend everything out. And even when you get under the beak here, I want you to roll this around, not totally around, but get any of the edges out of there. So it does sort of come to a point, not a point, but a rollover here. And that's part of the throat of the bird. And you want to keep that rolling across here, not any edges, okay? So I'm going to go back in again so you can see it. And this comes up and around. And I think we're pretty close. And I know I wiped out the center line on the bottom. But if I ran my pencil across the bottom, this point and this point should be the same, okay? And if not, you got to make the adjustments, okay? And the other thing you got to do is if you didn't drill deep enough for the eye and the eye starts getting lost, what I'm going to ask you to do again is just come in on the eye. Just make sure you're not losing it. That's pretty good depth, and so is this one. So I'm not complaining, but in some of you where you may not have drilled deep enough, that could be a problem. You could lose where the eye location is, and you don't want to lose that, okay? And remember, we're drilling this eye to what would be this far in. This is that thinner head. This is actually where the eye is going to sit, and we're going to do this next. and I'm going to show you how to do that too. But I felt bad that I left you in a lurch, because this side has more wear and tear that needs to be done to get this down and this blended back. This, because everything is rolling around here and the way the blank was cut, it comes out a lot easier. So I just wanted to go back and say, you got more work on this side than you do this. This comes up pretty fast. This, you got to work at it. You got to do it not only once. I undercut it once, I cut it twice. Not that I'm going real deep each time, but I do it in a controlled fashion so that you can take the time and be in control. And that's the thing. And the ideal thing is to try to blend all this out. I see a couple edges I left, and if I just highlight them here, I just run my pencil across there. I'll come back. Can't do it with the ball, but I'll get the pear and put that in my machine. And then what I'll do is I'll just come real soft without trying to make more edges and just gently blend it away, okay? And we'll get the sanding this, which will help too, but you don't want like gouges and then up and then down again. You want this all blended so everything's flowing back nicely, and you have a nice shape to this and not gouges in there, okay? I see a little rise and fall right here, so I'm going to come in just to make me feel better. I'm going to just take a little bit more right off of that point right there. Okay? Now, what I'm going to take you on now is this. We had this set up where this is the head part, like from the eye up. This line here and this line here. And these outside lines were actually the dimensions for where the cheek should end up at, okay? As you're looking down here, this line is more important down here and down here. This line, I'm going to start attacking. I'm going to take from the eye up, between the eye and this line right here and this line right here, I'm going to take it in, straight in, so that there's a wall going straight down, and we're going to start shaping the head to where it should be. So watch me now. I'm going to come in again from the center line of the eye to this line here. I'm going to flatten this without going on the beak, but taking this material down. So here we go. I'm going to I'm holding it so that I can flatten it between the beak. And you see this line up here? I don't want to lose that line. I want to go right up to it. I want to be able to see it, but I don't want it rolling over. I want to go straight back so that when I look down, I'm pretty straight down, almost. And I'm coming around all the way up to there. Now, I can see a little more white down here, and I'm going to take that down. Like that. Now, I'm going to put that center line of the eye in again so you can see where I'm going here. And remember, sort of going off on an angle, excuse me. This goes this way. So I don't want to lose the eye channel, just so I can make sure I got enough material off that I'm looking straight down on here now. There may be a little bit that I need to take off, but not much. I'm going to send my pear through the eye again just so I have a channel going back. I'm not going that deep. I'm really not going that deep. I don't know if you can see that on the channel, but I mean on the camera, excuse me. I'm trying to get that channel in there, okay? And it comes up forward too. Now, what I'm going to do is I have a channel edge on this side and a channel edge on this side. But what I want to do from the center up on the side, I want to roll this up and around. This will have a little bit of a flat in here, but it's going to be rolling. So watch me here. I'm going to come in on that channel edge. I'm rolling that ever so slightly, and I'm coming around. I'm knocking that edge off, which is where the pencil was. And I'm coming up to the beak, but not going on the beak. Let me clear that dust off. And I'm rounding that edge over, and I'm taking it right up to the center line. Let me get that center line in there because I want you to see what's happening here. So I'm rounding that over. It does have a little bit of a flat up here, but that corner needs to be rolled. And I'm going to come right on up to the beak, but stop short of it, so I still have a little bit of a lip there. And then on this, let me go in here again. I still see a little bit of an edge, and I'm lightly doing this. I still want that concave area for the eye channel. I want to keep that. I just want to roll in and roll out. Now, on the bottom here, I created a little bit of an edge for that channel that I made. So I take that out. Now, that's half the bird right there, done. Okay? And you can see the head popping out. So now I'm going to come over to this side. Here's what we're working towards. This area right here comes up to the beak, and here's your eye channel. What we can do, if you're not sure, is to put that eye channel in there. Excuse me 1 second. That's something in my eye. And there we go. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to level that down. To that line. So it's from the center of the eye to this line. I'm flattening it all down, okay? And I'm not going on the beak when I go forward to that too. And I'm looking at that line so I can maintain the line. And this does flare out, okay? It's not like it's turning. This is coming out this way, and that's fine. So I'm taking that down, okay? And I'm coming up to the beak, but I'm not going on the beak. I'm still keeping that lip that we had created there. Now, let me see where we are here. I'm going to take a little bit more. Okay. So I still see a little bit of white before the line here. So I'm going to tackle that. Now, again, I'm going to go in, make my channel for the eye, coming straight back. Let me go back this way. Okay, like that. Now I have a channel edge on this side and a channel edge on that side. Now I'm going to go into here, roll that gently, This corner right here, we're gonna attack a little bit. And we'll hit that like on a 45-degree chamfer and round it over, but do it gently. Do it gently, don't be so aggressive. And I want to blend it back in the back here. And I don't want to lose you neither, so I'm going to keep the center line. Center lines to me for the head are important, okay? And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get everything symmetrical on both sides here. Now, I'm looking into that channel, and that looks pretty good. And let me do this. I usually put my optivisors on so I could see better. And you may not see me wearing it all the time, but I do wear them, and it really helps. Now, I have that edge down here, and I'm just going to soften that out, coming right on up to the beak. But if you notice, here's that lip. It's still in there. It's over on this side too, and it comes back down. Then you got the bottom of the beak over here, and this comes around, and that's the bottom of the beak over there. Okay? Now, I still see edges right here, and I didn't get this rounded over, but I'm going to show you something here. When we had that line in here, that came to the center of the beak. In the same way here, I'm going to draw that back even though we took it out. I'm going to get my pear and I'm going to run it so I extend the channel right up to that line that I just said pulled into the beak. And I'm going to lightly come up, but I'm still want to maintain the lip, but not as much, maybe half as much as I had there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. I'm going to get that channel, and I'm going to come right on up to that corner, and I don't want to wipe out the edge of the beak there, that step down is here. And what I'm going to do is now roll this around like so. And then I'm going to do this side like so. I'm bringing that right on up to the corner. And I'm trying to gently take all the edges out. And I see a little one over here. And I'm going to take a little bit more back here. I'm just doing a little fine tuning here. Now, there's our head. It's basically out now. We have the wren's head basically out for the moment, okay? You have your eyes located. You have it rolls around, and I'm going to try to just turn this around so you can see it. Here's the center. Let me get this in here too. I want you to maintain that channel all the way up, but stopping short of going on to here. And then you have that coming back, and you got the same thing over here. This comes up here, here, around. And now you have your cheek in. Your head's reduced down so that the upper head is smaller and the cheek area pops out. your eyes in line with each other. You want to make sure of that. And so does your cheeks. The bottom of the cheek here and the bottom of the cheek there should be the same. Now I'm going to check it, and if I moved it a little bit, remember from the center of the eye down, it's 3/8. And if you moved it a little bit, you just get your bit and bring it up a little bit. That's all. But that's basically the head starting to come out. Now, I'm feeling around just to see if there's still edges there. And I feel a little one. My fingers usually tell me if I did that enough. So I'm going to come in and gently round that over. And if I still feel edges, you are going to have a flat. The flat on this head is going to be about here and here. So don't concern yourself that the whole thing's rolling around. No, it's not. It does have a little flat in it. So there's that. There's that. And I think we're in pretty good shape. So I hope you've seen that. You can see that well, what I'm trying to do. I'm moving it around so you can see different sides of it and everything else in the way it should be. And I think the head should be where we want it now. And if you can get to that far, that'd be great. And then what we're going to probably start doing then is we'll go into getting this prepared so we could start laying feathers on the next video. So we're progressing along okay. The head is basically out now. And you just want to check your dimensions. I'm looking at it here with my center line. This didn't flare out as much on this side, so I may bring this in a little back here after we get off the camera here, and I'll adjust that. Because you want both sides to look symmetrical, okay? And that's important, because the head, what you do on one side happens on the other. So I hope you got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that. And if anybody's interested in like the patterns or the blank or the eyes or the feet or bits or anything like that, I even sell the kits for any of the birds I've done on my videos. And I hope you got something out of this one as well. And I hope I didn't go out of the camera range when we were doing this. So see you on the next video. And we'll see if we can't get this bird flying pretty soon. Thank you. Bye now.